Alright guys, welcome back to the Hello World Guy, and this is episode number 15 if I'm not wrong, and this is the last episode of the platformer series. And in today's video what we are actually going to do is create a main menu and basically finalize our game. So as you can see here, I have this is my level 2 that I have designed a bit. This has got 5 coins here, this so that the player does not escape, and let me remove that. And maybe it's a bit large, but I think it's enough. And now we have also got if I actually you can see that we have also got 5 points here, and that's really nice. And this is all pretty good, but what I'm going to do right now is actually create a main menu. And if you remember, we had got a working level progression system as well. I also have a different background for this, by the way, and you can download this from the Brackeys pack. Just select the background folder and import it. Anyways, I'm going to go under my theme folder here, and if I go under level 1, this is what it looks like, our level 1. And if I were to just to give you a demo, I was to hit play right now, what you should see is that I can move and collect the coins. Let me just start again, because why not? And as you can see, we can go ahead and collect the coins. We can shoot this enemy, that's nice. We can collect this this ammo pickup to increase our ammo, and then we can collect all of the coins. And then once we collect the last coin, this appears in front of us with a cool animation, and as soon as we enter it, we get to the second level. And here we have got a enemy here. You can design this level as you want, it's up to you. And if I select all of the coins here, I just added a small place in up here. You can go here and collect this coin, and there is another coin there, and you can go down here to collect the 4th coin, and then you can come here and go up here, and as soon as I collect this coin, this should appear. But of course there is no level 3, and you can design as many levels as you want, by the way. But as there is no level 3, there is currently not any way for us to actually go go to the next level. So yeah, that's kind of and of course we want to finish the game at this point, so there should be like an end screen or something of that sort. So yeah, we're also going to implement that. And yes, now what I'm going to do, first of all, is go under my main menu level that I created yesterday, and you can see that it's currently completely empty. If I go to the main camera, you can see it's just a black background camera, nothing much. Let me just do this. Okay, we have got our camera here, and I can maybe turn this on, the gizmos and the grid. And if I go under here, I can select this color to be like this, so that our camera has got a gray background. And that's not going to matter, because right now we are going to go ahead and add in a UI image here, and this is going to be our main canvas, and this is going to be our background. And as you can see, its position and everything is closely wrong, so just set that to 0. Then I'm going to make sure it's stretched, and that's really nice. By the way, if you don't press Alt, then it won't change its actual position. So if I press Alt and click, that what happens, and if I do not press Alt, then it goes to the stretch, but it has got this. But if I press Alt, then this happens. So make sure that you press Alt while selecting this a set position. And if you go Shift, then you can select the pivot as well. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is go in the color, and then I'm going to just put it as a grayish background, even though that's not really necessary. Our camera is the same color, but still it's kind of a nice idea. And I'm going to right click here and add in a UI text here, and this is going to be title of our game, and then it's going to be stretched in the center, pressing Alt again, and then we are going to make it center aligned. And then I'm going to increase its font size to something like 72. And then I'm going to change it to be I'm going to also make it bold and underlined, and then I'm going to just set it to platformer game. You can set whatever title you like here. Then I'm going to maybe set it to a greenish color. No, not greenish, actually this kind of color, it's up to you. Maybe 100, yeah, that's better. And then I'm going to move it up by increasing its position Y to something like 150, or maybe 125, 150. Okay, 150, that's nice. And now we are going to add a level selection menu here. So the idea is that we will have a couple of buttons for selecting the actual level, and what would happen is that we will use those buttons to decide which level to play. How will we actually do this? Well, for this, let's get some some coding. Alright, so the problem that I want to address is that if I just right click here and I go under UI and add in a button here, so just a text mesh pro button here, normal button, and I change its text to something like 1, and then I go and make it auto sized, and then I go under the button and make its height something like 160 as well, and then I go here and make sure that its max is not set to something low. Okay, and yeah, that looks nice. So what I'm going to do with this button is actually this is, as you can see, it's to the center, but I might prefer to move it over to the left, and then I'm going to decrease its position on the Y a little bit to something like -60, and then I'm going to increase its position on the X to something like 150. Okay, that looks nice, and maybe not, maybe 200. We can even go to 50. Yeah, that's nice. And what I'm going to do is basically change this button to level 1, and then I'm going to duplicate this to have level 2. Actually, let me name it at level _1. That will allow Unity to duplicate it with easily. And okay, this is level 2, and what I'm going to do is make sure that it's moved to the left and its position is -250 and -60 on the Y. That's nice. And then we are going to change its text to 2. Now, as you can see, we can add our, if I go under button settings here, button setting, you can see we can add an on click event, but this doesn't give us what button it was triggered from. So that's kind of a problem. Even if I add an object, okay, so what of course, first thing we are going to do is create our UI events object here. Not really like that, we have got it as a prefab, if you remember, and this object contains the UI event script, and this is very nice, but we can't really provide it with a value per se, because that's going to be a little difficult. And so that for that reason, what you might prefer to do is create a different kind of system for doing this. If I actually go ahead and try to go under UI event, and what I want to do here is I might create a public void here, called button pressed, and then it takes a button using Unity engine.ui for this, using Unity engine.ui. okay, go here and say button, come on, and this is called the button, start level. Actually, this that level, start level, and this is going to be a reference to the button that we have got. And yeah, so if I do that, that's nice, it's working. But if I go under here and let it compile, then let's say that I waited for compile first of all, because that's kind of annoying. And if I drag this in here, and then for the function I go under UI events and try to use this start level function, then it takes a button. Now I can provide this as a button, and that should work. So if I provide this as the button, that means that it's always going to work, and we can basically use it. The idea is that we will use the name of this button to determine which level to open up. Alright, so in order to do that, let's get, now the format, remember, is this level _1 and level _2. So I am thinking about changing that. Just name it to 1 and 2, and if you want to have better readability, just add a new object here called level buttons, and then select these and drag them in here. So yeah, that's nice. And make sure there's a child of this and this, that works, everything. Okay, now this is nice. We have got our level buttons object here, and it contains one which has got this here, and for 2 we are going to add one handler here with this, and the function being, okay, not event system, UI events. Okay, UI events, and it's going to be start level, and then we can provide it with this button. That's really nice. Now this is going to be really easy. Oh, by the way, you could just use game object here, because that's the thing that we actually want. We want the name of this game object, but we are going to use button here so that we don't get anything else. That's going to be better. Anyways, I'm going to create an int level here, not equal to 0. It's going to be equal to button.name. Okay, and you can see that it's not giving an error. Okay, and if I go here, then let's see. Okay, it's not giving an auto solution. Okay, so we will have to use so we need, all we need to do is we need to convert this string value, we need to parse it into an integer. We can, for this we can use int dot parse. Okay, now this works. It basically tries to parse a string s, and then it returns us with an integer, and that's really nice. And what we can do with this level integer is we can say, well, it's very easy. We can just say scene manager dot scene manager, by the way, dot load scene, and we can give it our level, that as a build index. Remember, 0 is the main menu for our build indexes, and 1 is for the level 1 and level 2 and so on. So what this should actually work. So let me hit play. We have got 1 here. I click that, I get into my first level. And if I play again, then you should see that upon clicking 2, I get to my second level. Let's see, 2, and yeah, that's the second level. And as you can see, this is really awesome, which means that everything is working. So yeah, we have got a nice level system now, and you can repeat this process for as many levels as you would like. Now there might be some of you that might suggest creating a programmatical way to actually create the buttons, and that's possible, but maybe because we have only got few levels, we are not doing that, and it's fine manually. But if you want me to make a tutorial about that, then let me know in the comments. Anyways, with this done, I think it's that's enough for our level system, and now we can start to add a system for exiting when we complete the game. As you can see, I cannot go in this, and I have completed level 2, so we should show kind of a complete game dialogue, but we are not doing that, so we need to do that. Now doing that is actually unbelievably simple. All we need to do, there are a bunch of ways you could go about this, but what I'm going to do is right click here, create a new scene here, and I'm going to call this one end game. Okay, and all this is going to contain is right click, create a UI image here, and that's going to be our background, this image. And this is, we have got a nice canvas here as well, and I'm just going to stretch it and then make it kind of a dark colored thing, and that's really nice. And what I'm going to do is right click on this canvas, go under UI, and add in a text. Now this text, not on the background, on the canvas, by the way, and this text will basically just be center aligned. So if you can make it stretched all across the screen. And what I'm going to do is center align it, and then you can hit auto size, and you can set the max value to really high, and that should make it extremely large. But yeah, I'm just going to set the max value to 200, or you can just set this to 200, and then I'm going to change the text to you finished the game. Okay, now this is the font size is a bit too large, so this seems a bit more adequate, I guess 150, something like that. That's really nice, and you can make it bold and underlined if you want, and maybe I will change it to 140 so that it's on 2 lines, and you can make it some color like the one we had in our menu, and that's really nice. Yeah, that's all good. So you can see that sometimes it causes a little bit of problem. As you can see, we get bigger and the text is still smaller. So in order to do that, what I can do is actually add a separation between you finished and the game, and then I can set it to auto size with a max of 200, and then I can make sure that it has got a little bit of padding at both the left and the right. And even if I now go to full screen mode, it doesn't cause that much of a problem, even though it does a little bit, but not extremely an extreme amount of problem. At 16:9 ratio, it should be like this, but if the screen is larger, it's like this. So actually, I think it will be better to remove this bold. Okay, if you remove the bold, everything kind of works. So yeah, this is what you can style the text as you want. I think that's it for us. Alright, so now for the coding, I am going under my player script here in the collision enter 2D function. Again, player script collision enter 2D function, And in here you can see we check if the string is null or empty to find out whether this next build index is actually valid. Well, but it's not valid, that means that the game is over, ended. So what we can do is we can go scene manager dot load scene dot load scene, and in here all we can we need to find the last scene, because our end screen will be the last scene in the build index. So what we can do is we can say scene manager dot dot scene count in build settings. Now this gives us all the scenes in the build settings, which means that if we subtract one from it, we should get the index of the last one. So if I let it compile, just wait for a little bit, and once it compiled, go under here, go under file, build settings, and add this end game as the last one. And if you add more levels, then make sure that the end game is always the last build index. And what this script does is that it loads the last build index. So if I just to show you, if I'm just going to go ahead and collect all of the coins. Alright, so here I'm going to collect my last coin, and that portal opens up, and as soon as I enter it, it says you finish the game. Now you can make this a little bit more fancy or whatever you like, or yeah, you can do whatever you want. The design is up to you, and this is the basic way to do it. Alright, with that clear, I think we have got a pretty much complete game almost. And if I hit play right now, you can see that I can select a level 1 or level 2, and I can select level 1, and then I can go ahead and play the level 1 by going here, and I can collect my ammo pickups, and I can collect all of these, and I can kill this enemy. The enemy can damage me, as you can see, and I can kill the enemy. And okay, that's a bit harder than I thought. Okay, yeah, that worked. And you can see that the enemy disappears with a nice effect, and I can go ahead and collect the large coin, and this opens up with the animation, and I can go in here, and that gets me to level 2, and I can kill the enemy here as well. And what I can do is go ahead and select all of the coins, and then you should see that we get our new level. So yeah, this is pretty much it, and I think that that's complete for our series. Now of course this game can be improved a lot, and for that reason I'm going to release a bonus episode tomorrow, in which we will discuss some issues like audio and a couple of bug fixes. So if you want to watch that, that's up to you. And some of you wanted a game, mobile game, a tutorial for that. So I think that's going to be our next series. So that's going to start from the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow we are doing we are actually doing that's a bonus episode. And yeah, that's going to be it. So before I exit this end this video, let me do one more thing, which is go under my prefab folder, and I have made a prefab of everything, including the death canvas. And in here I think if I just turn it on, okay, and I'm going to duplicate the play again button to the menu button, and then I am going to decrease its position on the Y a bit, a lot. Okay, something like -160. Okay, and this button is going to be called menu. Okay, and that's it. And I'm going to increase the height a little bit. Oh, that's a lot. Actually, we can't see the effects in real time because this is in a prefab, and yeah, that's kind of causing a little bit of problem for us. And if I select this and make sure it's auto size, then there is no maximum limit on this. Then you can see that that works, and this is our menu, and I might actually decrease its height a bit. Yeah, and this menu button should actually take us to the menu. So for that, I'm going to go under my UI events and just add a quick little function here. This is going to be a public, let me add this before the start level, public void menu, open menu. And what all this needs to do is we need to say, I'm just going to copy this line, and then I need to say scene manager.load scene 0, and that's it. So what we can do here is you can see that we have got, if I go under my scene here, this is our death canvas, and it has got a nice button in here, but this button has got no, I'm going to just drag this UI events object in here, and for the function I'm going to choose restart level, open menu, open menu. Okay, so I'm going to just select this and make sure that overrides are applied. so that the changes we have made are applied completely. So now what you should be able to see is that when the game is over, so if I just go here and I stand in front of this guy, then you should see that he manages to kill me eventually. Just wait for a little while. And as you can see, as soon as he manages to kill me, I have got an option for going to the menu now. And that's really nice. So this is pretty much it for this video and this series, except the bonus episode. So I will see you in the next one, and make sure to like and subscribe and check out my other channel as well. I have got the develop channel link in description, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.